Assalamu alaikum. I am Aisha from Department Chemistry, and here's my part 2 of my presentation of my project, Solar Dried project. As in part 1, I discuss about the basic basic introduction of solar dried and what are the necessary things in and what are the procedure of solar dried. Now we see what methodologies I apply for my project. One was open sun drying, and then was in the solar dried. I took a ginger, and then I cut them into small slices, and then I dried them in both ways. One was open sun drying, and then the second was solar dry project, and I checked the differences between these two methods. So what was this open sun drying method? It is also known as sun drying, as we all know, is a traditional method that involves drying food or other items outdoors under the sun, typically done without any protective coverings. This approach relies on solar radiation totally to facilitate the evaporation of moisture from the surface of the materials. It is cost effective and energy efficient method. It may lead to uneven drying and expose the material to environmental contaminants depending on the weather conditions. So if we dry in this way, we can there's a chances that our product may be contaminated due to weather conditions. Then second was direct solar dried. An apparatus that exposes the material to direct sunlight is referred to as direct solar dried. We use a gloss as a apparatus that exposes the material. It is typically featuring a transparent cover to allow sunlight penetration and heat the drying chamber. These dries promote the evaporation of moisture from the material within. While direct sun dryers are convenient and affordable, they can expose the dried goods to external pollutants and rely on optimal weather conditions to operate effectively. And know what was the component we needed in making solar dried. The basic component was collector, which absorb the solar radiations. Then drying chamber, which is about the basically a framework for the solar dried, which was glass and dimension were 3 by 4 height and 3 by 4 width. Then transparent cover, we use a transparent cover as a glass which retains the heat within the drying chamber. Then ventilation system for airflow, maintaining airflow, and then thermal storage control system. Then sports structure, which is basically the or whole framework that supports the drying material and the drying components. The required materials in making solar dryer was plywood, hammer, nail and glue, glass, thermometer, black paint, which acts as black body radiation, which absorbs more radiation from the sun. This was experimental setup. There was three racks in the solar dryer, and and its angle was about 23 degrees C, so that it can penetrate more solar radiations. No, there's the procedure of drying ginger in open sun. So we see about the weight, temperature, and duration, what time it may take to dry in open sun, and what time it may take in sun dried, and what is the differences between those two methods. So, to ensure uniform drying, I start by cleaning and cutting the ginger into consistent pieces. Subsequently, I lay out these slices in a single layer on clean, level surface such as drying racks or mats exposed to sunlight. I regularly rotate the ginger slices throughout the drying process to ensure uniform drying on all sides. This process typically takes about 24 to 48 hours or approximately 2 days. This was a long time as compared to sun dry method. In order to maintain the quality of the dried ginger, I ensure that the drying area is clean and protected from animals, dust, and insects. Once ginger has dried to the desired moisture level, I store it in a sealed container in cool dry area to preserve its flavor and aroma. So the product name we use, as I already told, is ginger. The duration, it may take 24 to 48 hours. I had some mistake. The time was 24 to 48 hours. Temperature was about 41 to 48, 44 degrees C in open sun. As there's summer, temperature is high. Then weight before drying was 10 gram, and weight after drying was 1.8 gram. No, the procedure of drying ginger in solar dry. To ensure proper drying, I begin by washing and cutting the ginger into uniform pieces. Subsequently, I place these slices in direct sunlight by arranging them in single layer on drying trays inside the solar dryer. Depending on the intensity of the sun and external condition, I regularly monitor the dryer to check the temperature, which typically reaches around 53.5 degrees Celsius to 55.5 degrees Celsius. I also make necessary adjustment to the fans or vents to maintain the optimal drying conditions and allow the ginger to dry gently over the span of several hours to days. Then after the drying, I remove it from the dryer and let it return at room temperature before storing it in an airtight container. So temperature here was 53.5 degrees C, which is about 10 degrees Celsius more than open sun drying method. And the duration was about 3 hours. In 3 hours, my ginger was almost dried and better, and it was more better than open sun. The weight before 20 grams, and after drying, its weight was 2.7 gram. No, we can use solar dry for many other purposes. We can utilize for drying agriculture products, fruit, vegetables, herbs. In the construction and furniture manufacturing, they help reduce the moisture content of wood and lumber. In textile industry, solar dryers efficiently dry textiles and clothing. Solar dryers are also crucial for drying and hygienically preserving fish and shellfish. They are also used to preserve the therapeutic properties of mushrooms and medicinal plants, enhancing their market value in pharmaceutical and culinary application. Conclusion and future advancement. In summary, we can say the capability of solar dryer to reach higher temperature provides the advantages of expediting the drying process. This increased efficiency accelerates the turnaround time for agriculture products, boosting production and reducing drying time. Additionally, the use of renewable energy in solar dryer makes them more cost effective and environmental friendly compared to traditional drying methods. This was all about my presentation. Thank you so much.